Why do you play games? This is a difficult question that many players can get stuck on, but thankfully there is a site that answers this hard question for us, or so they say. Quantic Foundry is a popular and important site that creates your gamer motivation profile by asking you a few questions. The purpose of this profile is to answer the question I asked at the beginning, and today we are going to see if the data is accurate for me. My gamer type is Bounty Hunter, and here is my score. Bounty Hunter means action, exploration, and immersion. And yes, those aspects are very important to me as well. No matter what I play, I like to explore not only to find new weapons, but also to discover new areas or new bosses. I like action because I enjoy a good challenge, and a good challenge is essential for most games. And lastly, I like immersion because I want to feel like I am inside the game and forget about real life for a moment. So now let's look at the components in more detail, but before analyzing them, I want to talk about UFO 50 for a bit. UFO 50 is the game I will be showing throughout this video to help with this project. Why did I pick this game? Even though I have some favorite genres, I try to play many different kinds of games, and UFO 50 includes 50 different games, so it represents me quite well. So without further delay, let's start with here we can see that each component has two substats that affect it. For action, these are excitement and destruction. As you can see, my excitement score is pretty high, while destruction is quite low. Destruction is exactly what it sounds like. If you have a high score here, you enjoy destroying things a lot. I do enjoy destruction too, but in some games there are more interesting ways to complete your objective. In Rail Heist, for example, you have many ways to steal money from the train. You can use a chicken, use devices, break blocks, hide, and of course you can punch or shoot enemies, but there are more interesting and often easier ways to beat the game, and I prefer those over pure destruction. That makes it easy to see why my destruction score is low and why my excitement score is high. Excitement means enjoying fast-paced games that require quick reactions. This is why I like Souls games, and it's also why I like UFO 50. Many of its games fit this description. There is a dungeon crawler with Souls-like combat, a game where you revive by beating a minigame after death, and even a brilliant arcade game that combines Pac-Man and Snake. These kind of games are the games that interested me the most in this collection, but there is another reason why I like them. They demand mastery. In mastery, challenge is important. Without challenge, many games lose their meaning. There has to be weight to my actions. If there is no risk, no tension, and no need to improve, progression feels empty. Many UFO 50 games are difficult. Difficulty needs to be well crafted. Some JRPGs rely on grinding, and even though I like JRPGs, I don't enjoy that kind of challenge. I want my game knowledge to be tested, not my stats. Ninpek is a great example. In this game, you try to save your meal from an octopus while running and throwing ninja stars. At first, it feels fun but difficult. A few hits and you are dead, but over time you memorize enemy placements, create safer routes, and discover hidden mechanics the game never explains. When you die, you become a ghost, and when you are a ghost, you can defeat enemies and even choose where to respawn. Late game sections become easier, not only because you learn the game, but also because it lowers the difficulty or gives some resources like extra lives or cherries. Many difficult games like Souls games use this approach. Even though I really like a good challenge, I don't do New Game Plus runs or speed runs, which is probably why my challenge stat is high, but not as high as excitement. Mastery also includes strategy. Strategy is about resource management and meaningful choices, using bullets or health flasks, choosing party members, or deciding when to take risks. These elements exist in many games, which makes it hard to define what a strategy game really is. So I am going to talk about a game that has focus on these elements. A good example is Party House. In this game, you plan a party and try to invite 5 aliens. To do that, you need popularity, which means inviting other guests, but some guests bring trouble. If you invite too many troublemakers, things go wrong. Normally, I don't play games like this, but it is easy to understand and accessible. That's also why I like turn-based RPGs. They may not be as complex as hardcore strategy games, but they still reward smart decisions. In Grimstone, for example, one of the most important choices is picking your party members at the beginning. Choose wisely and never choose the dog. Maybe it's overpowered later, but for early game, it is bad. Even though I enjoy JRPGs and turn-based combat, I didn't play Grimstone for very long. And that reason is not combat, but immersion.
Şimdi biz de gol atarız.
Grimstone is inspired by Dragon Quest III and Final Fantasy I. At the time, gameplay mattered more than story, and while Grimstone does have a story, its goals are not really clear and not really interesting, at least not yet. For me, story is essential. When you write a game story, you need to give players a goal, a reason to play for 10 hours. It can be as simple as save the world, but without a clear goal, I lose immersion, and when I lose immersion, I drop the game. This also explains why I finished Bushido Ball first in this package. Normally, I don't enjoy arcade games because they don't give me a strong reason to finish them, but Bushido Ball did. It has a very clear goal: defeat every warrior. Yes, this is pretty simple, but it is enough for the game. In Grimstone, both the goal is pretty weird, like go to hell what? Story is important, but so is fantasy. Fantasy makes me curious. Many games use silent protagonists for this reason. It allows players to project themselves and ask questions. In Night Manor, the story starts with you leaving a party angrily and thinking about your friend Amy. Then suddenly, you hit a man and wake up in a basement. Wait, what happened? What happened? How did I get here? How do I escape here? Who is this man? Is it related to the party? Horror games usually don't interest me, but this curiosity hooked me instantly. So is fantasy is important, but I cannot say the same with achievement.
3 yıldız. 3. 3.
I don't enjoy achievement hunting. It quickly becomes boring, and I start to dislike the game. Some games do it well, but overall, completion doesn't motivate me much. The same goes for power. I don't enjoy grinding. It feels like a waste of time. But getting a powerful or iconic weapon with a fun ability can change my mind sometimes. Then there is creativity. I don't like building stuff in games mostly because it usually requires a lot of time. I don't enjoy games that shift their focus toward complex creation systems or add extra mechanics mainly for players who want to build, design, or optimize endlessly. I played farming or city building games, but it is very rare. Because of that, my design stat is pretty low, and the 22% probably comes from character creation, which I do enjoy since it helps with immersion. I think I already talked about discovery earlier. Remember Rail Heist and the tactics I discovered there? Discovery works in a similar way, but in a more extreme form. It's about finding tactics, exploits, or unexpected solutions. that even the developers might not have planned. I enjoy discovering fun tactics, but I don't engage with it that much. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the components that shape how I play games. There isn't really anything else to add. Social stat is extremely low, and honestly that makes sense. I don't care much about competition, it feels pointless to me. Community is complicated. There were times when I played online games, but even then I didn't really engage with the community. I watched guides when I was stuck, but that's about it. In the bounty hunter description it says solo world exploration, so I think it is normal to have low social stat. I don't know. Overall, I think these stats are accurate. Both the gamer type and the numbers represent me well. But the most impressive part is the game recommendation system. Using the game distance method, it recommends games by looking at your gamer motivation and games that you mentioned. I mentioned 6 PC console games and 3 mobile games that I played recently, and those are the games. So when you look at the list with these recommendations, it is easy to see why it recommended me Persona 3, Divinity, Hollow Knight. It is also easy to see games like Chrono Trigger, Xenoblade, Digimon, Crosscode, Yakuza, because I already mentioned 2 JRPGs, though I should mention that these solid recommendations, so it is still surprising, but they're more surprising games too, like Hades 2. I didn't mention any hack and slashes, so it must be because of my gamer profile, and Hades 2 fits perfectly to my profile. So to return to the question I asked at the beginning, I play games to experience something new, to lose myself in a world, to challenge the hardest bosses, and to have fun along the way. I am Serdar, and this is my gamer motivation profile.